Imagine walking down a narrow path in the middle of the night. The trees around you grow taller, thicker, and darker with every step. The air is cold, heavy, so heavy it feels like something is pressing down on your chest. You tell yourself it's just the silence, but deep inside, you know something isn't right. You hear it, the faint crunch of leaves behind you. You turn, no one is there. Your heart races. Was it the wind? An animal? Or something that doesn't belong in this world at all? Forests are supposed to be places of peace, where birds sing, where children play, where people escape to find calm. But there are some forests in this world where calm doesn't exist. Instead, these places breathe fear. They pull you in, they confuse you, they whisper your name when no one else is around. And once you step inside, there's no guarantee you'll ever come out the same again. Tonight, I'm going to take you into those woods. Not the forests from fairy tales, but the real ones. Places where people vanish without explanation. Places where compasses spin like they're possessed. Places where shadows follow you even when you're standing still. Think about this for a second. What if the legends are true? What if there are places on Earth where the veil between the living and the dead is so thin that sometimes things slip through? What if every time you hear a twig snap behind you, it's not an animal, but something watching, waiting? In Germany, there is a forest so dark, even sunlight struggles to break through. In Romania, there's a clearing where nothing has grown for hundreds of years, and no one knows why. In Japan, there's a forest that calls people to it, and many who enter never return. In England, ancient woodlands still echo with the cries of the dead. And in America, a pine forest hides a monster with wings and burning red eyes. These aren't campfire stories. These are real places you can visit today. Forests that carry centuries of mystery, fear, and blood. Forests that have inspired ghost stories, horror films, and unsolved cases. And the deeper we go into them, the more terrifying the truth becomes. Because the scariest thing about these forests isn't what's been seen. It's what hasn't. The whispers you can't explain. The footsteps that don't belong. The feeling that you're being watched, even though you're completely alone. So ask yourself this. Would you dare to walk into one of these forests at night? Would you trust your own eyes, your own ears, your own mind, when everything inside tells you to run? Stay with me until the end of this video. I promise you'll never look at the woods the same way again. And maybe, just maybe, you'll understand why some forests were never meant for humans at all. Dark forests have always carried mysteries. They hide whispers, shadows, and legends that refuse to die. Every culture has its haunted woodland, places where travelers vanish, where voices call your name in the dead of night, and where the air feels heavier with secrets. Deep in southwestern Germany lies the Black Forest, its name itself sounding like something out of a nightmare. The dense canopy blocks sunlight, leaving paths dim even during the brightest noon. Locals whisper of a headless horseman riding silently across the trails, of witches gathering in hidden clearings, and of spirits that mimic human voices. Imagine hiking alone, hearing your mother's voice calling you deeper into the trees, only to realize she's miles away at home. Folklore here inspired some of the Brothers Grimm's darkest tales. Travelers swear that compasses spin wildly and phones die without reason. The deeper you go, the more the forest feels alive, as though it's watching you. Known as the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, Hoia-Baciu is infamous for UFO sightings, strange lights, and ghostly apparitions. Even animals avoid this forest, as if sensing something unnatural lurks within. The strangest part? A nearly perfect circular clearing lies at its heart, where no trees grow, no plants thrive, nothing lives. Scientists have tested the soil and found no logical explanation. Visitors report sudden nausea, anxiety, or even burns on their skin. Cameras glitch, photos show faces that weren't there, and people describe losing hours of memory after entering. One legend tells of a shepherd who entered the forest with 200 sheep and never returned. Neither he nor the flock was ever seen again. At the base of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara, one of the most chilling places on Earth. Thick, twisted trees grow so closely together that light barely reaches the ground. Compasses refuse to work properly due to the volcanic soil's magnetic properties, making it dangerously easy to lose your way. But what makes it truly terrifying is its reputation. Aokigahara is known as the suicide forest. For decades, people have come here to end their lives. Japanese folklore speaks of yurei, angry spirits, trapped in the forest, forever wandering. Many hikers describe hearing whispers in the wind, or footsteps following them, only to turn and find no one. Some even claim to see pale figures drifting silently between the trees. Local guides warn visitors. If you hear someone calling your name, do not answer. Just outside London, Epping Forest has been the hiding place of outlaws, the stage of bloody battles, and even a dumping ground for murder victims. Centuries of dark history have left behind more than memories. They've left restless spirits. Travelers speak of a woman in white, wandering endlessly, sobbing as if searching for someone. Others report the sounds of hooves pounding the earth, though no horses appear. The twisting paths are so disorienting that even experienced hikers sometimes walk in circles for hours. At night, shadows stretch unnaturally long, and you might catch a glimpse of figures darting between the trees. Some say it's just imagination. Others insist it's the dead who never left. The name alone, Wychwood, carries a sinister weight. Once part of royal hunting grounds, it is said to be cursed. The most famous tale is of Amy Robsart, wife of Robert Dudley, who died mysteriously in 1560. Her ghost is said to appear to those doomed to die. If you see her walking through the forest, legend warns, your death will follow within days. Countless wanderers tell of feeling an icy hand brush their shoulder, or a voice whispering directly into their ear, even when they're completely alone. The trees here creak, as though speaking to each other. Birds fall silent when you enter. The deeper you walk, the stronger the sense of dread becomes, as if the forest itself knows your fate before you do. Among America's most haunted woodlands lies the Pine Barrens, stretching across 7 counties of New Jersey. Its pine needles swallow sound, and its sandy soil seems to drink in every footprint, leaving no trace behind. But the Barrens are infamous for one chilling reason: the Jersey Devil. Legend says a woman known as Mother Leeds gave birth to her 13th child here in the 1700s. In the middle of a storm, the baby transformed, sprouting wings, horns, and a forked tail, before flying into the woods. Since then, countless people have reported seeing the winged creature screeching through the trees, glowing red eyes piercing the night. The devil isn't the only spirit said to wander here. Abandoned villages, once home to glassmakers and mill workers, now rot in silence. Locals call them ghost towns. Travelers claim to see figures peering out of crumbling doorways, hear laughter echoing down empty roads, and feel the sense that they're not alone. And sometimes late at night, if the forest is silent enough, you can hear something moving just beyond the treeline, something large, winged, and waiting. Each of these forests is separated by oceans and continents, yet they share something terrifying in common. They don't just scare people, they draw them in. People vanish in the Black Forest. Time slips away in Hoia-Baciu. Souls linger forever in Aokigahara. Epping and Wychwood trap restless ghosts. And the Pine Barrens still hide a beast that should never exist. Some researchers believe these forests aren't just haunted. They're gateways, thin places where the line between our world and the unknown tears open. Maybe that's why voices call your name. Maybe that's why compasses fail. Maybe that's why those who enter sometimes never leave. So if you ever find yourself walking through a forest, and the air suddenly feels colder, the trees unnaturally silent, and a whisper calls out to you, don't answer, don't turn back, and whatever you do, don't follow the path deeper in, because the forest may already know your name. Subscribe for more videos.